Welcome again to this interface of interaction. Here's the morning of a spring day at the base of the sacred ancient sign of Hatum in Montreal, the sacred mount, the summit of the world, Montreal, the mountain which sits at the site of the king, Montreal. This is the king's site, the Turkish chair in the head of the future, of the continent of the future race that is America. And today we're inspired to share with you some ancient knowledge that is based on the constitution of man as a kindle being, as a fivefold being, through the image of the pentagram. So we have already discussed in the past the way that man awakened from infinite consciousness into being, into a triple manifestations, and we will revisit this today so that then we can move forward with other more advanced concepts and information. So let's imagine that we have this I will work with some drawings today to make things clear. Let's say that this is the creator, this is the universal, immense, infinite, boundless mind of the creator, and through will, the pluri-existent mind confines itself to a place of manifestation, to a universe of creation, and through the activation of the will, this eternal mind says, I, and from the I says, I develop, I express, I am. So from the zero, the immensity, the ocean of infinite consciousness, there's awakening, the awakening of the mind of God through the will of creation, says I, and from the I says, I develop, I convert, I am. So this is the way from which from zero we turn into one, and the one duplicates itself in a self-reflection and says, I am. And from this I and from this am starts the first polarity of mother-father. We have the mother, the father earth, and we have the we have the father sky, and we have the mother earth. And through the interaction of mother and father, of this first polarity, appears the third, which is the sun. And mother, father, and son are the base of the first creation and form the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, which is common to all the ancient scriptures. And this Holy Trinity, this father that represents the spirit, this mother that represents matter or earth, and the son that represents the soul, the principle of experience and manifestation, will then inhabit the quadruple reality of experience in the third dimension. So this soul, the son of Father Sky and Mother Earth, will start in the third dimension the path of the hero to experience, to manifest, to create. This is how through the 4 develops the 5, the pentagram, the fivefold principle of experience through humanity in this physical plane. And we, as mankin, as human beings, we are pentagrams. And the pentagram will express in the different levels of our beings the potentiality of manifestation and experience. So let's look in detail and try to do a better pentagram. Why is important the pentagram? Because it was used as the basis to develop our physical form. And if we see the pentagram, the upper part is the head. And through the head, we are connected to the totality, to the Creator. Through the head, we are connected to the sky, to everything that is holy, to the subtle planes, to God. And then we have two upper limbs. We have two arms and two hands. And this is the left hand and the right hand. And the right hand is the hand that receives. So it's the hand that will develop the principle of the reception, the grail, the cup, the bowl that receives from above. And the left hand is the hand that gives. Whatever is received is transmitted in horizontal. So this is a cross. Okay? The chalice receives is the womb principle of reception. The cross distributes is the male principle of giving. And then we have two legs. We have our two legs, and these two legs anchor us to the matter and allows us to move through matter using polarities. There are two. But in the end, from the head to the base of the spine runs a very powerful energy along our spine. Okay? From the base of the head to the tip of the sacrum and the coccyx runs the energy that will link us. This is the earth that will link us to the center, to the pulsation of Mother Earth. So here we will put the symbol of the earth. Okay? So we see how now our body is representing this sacred aspect of the pentagram, with the hexagram uniting us to the celestial kingdoms, with the symbol of the earth anchoring us through the duality of the links to the center of the earth, and also to the past, to our ancestors, recreating all the experiences we have lived as humanity in this and previous races. This is all anchored in a common way in the surface of the earth through the presence of the base of our spinal cord. And then we have the two upper limbs that are there to interact, to give and to receive, to express horizontally. And each one of these points has also a five-fold representation. Remember that we are holographic beings, we live in an holographic universe. The five manifests itself in different levels. So at the level of the head, the seat of the mind, as the brain that gives the substance for the mind to express, we have that the brain develop specific parts to interact with reality. And this is done through 5 specific organs of interface with reality that are the 5 senses. So in the head, in the head lies the potential of the mind. This is technology that comes from the Manasa Prutras. If you watch the videos on the moon rays, you will understand how the human being is started in the moon rays, where the mind principle was given from cosmic architects that are called Manasa Putras, and they gave humanity, they gave the human race, that is a specular way of saying moon. They gave the moon race the principle of mind, manas, and from the moon race, when the manas came, appeared the manas, the humanas. So in this place of the third race is where the human existence appears, and this mind that appears has 5 technologies of interaction with reality that are the 5 senses. And these 5 senses are experienced, are linked in 5 different places of the human brain. And these 5 senses are from the most primitive to the most developed, are the smell, which is the first possibility of interaction that appeared much more before humans were there. It appears as chemical reactions in the unicellular organisms. The smell is the exchange of chemical principles, of signals that allow these organisms to move in the interface of the first primitive waters. The second, and the olfactory brain is the most primitive within the development of our human brain. The second sense, which is the taste that appear also as chemical reactions, now incorporating molecules in this vast ocean of primitive waters. When the organism started to be more complex and multicellular, appeared the second specialization, and that is the taste. Then appears the interaction through waves of different length, that is the ear, the possibility of hearing. Okay? And then when we started to be completely separate from the environment, and nature started to develop in an aerian, out of the water, but in more in the air environment, appeared the sense of touch. And finally, the sense we rely most on, which integrates the complexity of reality to create an inner experience of an outer reality, which is the sound, that's the sense of the sight. That is here, is based in the posterior part of our brain, in the occipital brain. So through these 5 senses, we interact with reality through the head, the upper part, the upper arm of this pentacle, of this star. We reside through the mind, residing in the brain, we can experience reality. And then in each of the 4 limbs, we have 5 extensions. And these 5 extensions, again, will represent different sides of our physical experience of our body. In each of the limbs, we have 5 fingers, right? And 5 toes in the lower limbs that will, again, in an holographic form, recreate the totality of our human body. So each extension, 2 legs, 2 upper limbs, 2 arms, finish by a 5-fold expression that remind us that we are quintuple beings in manifestation. So this is the base of the pentacle. This is why the human experience is quintuple in its expression and its interface with reality. This is how, through the 5 and the pentacle, we can experience, experiment, and interact with reality through our senses, based and housed in the brain, through our fingers that allows us to receive and to give, okay, and to interact with reality, through our toes that allows us to anchor in the duality and to walk again the path of our ancestors and to recreate through different lives once and again the path of human being on surface of planet Earth. This is the way of the quintuple manifestations of being. This is the path of the pentacle. This is the form that we have geometrically anchored in this planet through the celestial architects that conceive a vehicle of manifestation in this 4th fold reality. And in the next chapters we will go in depth to see how this pentacle was present since the first expressions of life and culture and religion and spirit in humanity, and we will see how the pentacle unfolded in the different geographical bases and chronological times for humanity. Thank you for being here, and we'll meet again in the next chapter.